persistence pays no matter what stage of your career, wherever you're facing an obstacle in your life, because as you begin your careers, you'll realize that life was much easier in college and school because everything was so structured, but the external world has challenges that you can't even visualize, you can't even imagine. And whenever you're stuck in those sticky situations, leave your ego aside, just be persistent, because trust me, 90% of my success so far has come from just purely being persistent. And that's the number one message that I want to leave you with. Secondly, when I was graduating from IIM Ahmedabad 15 years back, I had one of those campus placement offers, which I did not take up. And we started a company on campus, which before I graduated only shut down because, we realized that business wasn't really scalable. And so the day I was graduating, I was sitting, like you, wearing the robe on Convocation Day. I think KV Kamath had just given us an address. And I, at that day, was very nervous because I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. I had decided that I was going to become an entrepreneur, but I never learned how to become an entrepreneur. And as luck would have it, the next 10-15 years were very hard because all my batchmates were taking up these very high paying corporate jobs, investment banking, consulting, marketing. And, even to meet them over the weekends, I wouldn't have money to, eat at fancy restaurants or discuss holidays. So I started creating hobbies outside of fancy restaurants and holidays. That's how I first started running, because I realized I didn't have money to really, have the same hobbies that my batchmates had. And there were so many moments of self-doubt where I thought that, maybe I've made the wrong decision. And I used to often wonder, why am I had this amazingly easy option of taking up a high-paying job right off campus. Why am I putting myself through all this grind, through all this trouble, through all these millions of rejections and failures? And at that time, I really didn't know the answer, but I just had some belief and carried on. But today, I know the answer, and which is what I want to share with you, because you'll have many over the next 2 to 3 years. I think the learning that I've had is that most, especially management graduates, within 1 to 2 years, they realize that whatever they've taken up as their first job may not be their life's calling, and then they come to this decision to figure out what their life's calling is and what they want to build in terms of their career. And I'm sure that in the next 1 to 2 years, if not already, you will also come to this decision. And I just want to remind you 2-3 things that have stayed with me. Firstly, right now you're young, you have energy, you have passion, you have excitement for a large career ahead of you. Do not think about taking shortcuts. Do take the road less taken. Take the harder paths. Don't try to optimize for more CPC or more cash in hand, because your 20s are really where your life, your career's base for compounding sets. So use your 20s for discovering what you're excited about, for working hard, for learning, for working for the best bosses you can find, finding mentors, whether they're in college or in your alumni network, who can really guide you on what you should be doing with your career. But don't optimize for shortcuts and CTC and getting us good designation so early on. Spend your 20s in discovery. Spend your 20s in taking the path less taken. Spend your 20s in going out of your comfort zone. If on any day you feel for 20 days straight that you're really not being pushed out of your comfort zone and your job, whatever you're doing, is too easy for you, then you're in the wrong field. Because right now, in the next 10 years, whatever base you set is gonna be the cornerstone for the rest of your career. So make sure that you make the right decisions, because those decisions stay with you for your life. And I remember, going through, every single time I had the option of quitting the business venture that I had started to really take up a job. And I knew that taking up a job would be easier for me. And it's not to say that, there's anything wrong with doing a job. The point I'm trying to make is that your heart will tell you what the right thing for you is. And for each of us, there is a career which is ideal for us, whether it is entrepreneurship, whether it's marketing, whether it's banking, whether it's consulting. The answer lies within you. The kind of work that fulfills you, that makes you jump out of bed in the morning, that really pushes you, that makes you curious to learn more, that inspires you, that's the work that you're born to do. Do not stop trying to discover and figure out what that calling is, because if there's one thing that you can do for yourself in your 20s, then it is to figure out what your passion project for the rest of your life will be. And then you have like the next 4 decades. Our careers are very long. We always overestimate how much we can accomplish in the next 10 hours, but we underestimate what we can accomplish in the next 2 decades. And I am telling you, based on what I've interacted with colleagues from your team so far, each of you has potential to be world class, to be really, really successful in whatever career you take up. Just make sure it is right for you. Make sure it is what you were born to do. Make sure it's something that pushes you out of your comfort zone, and do not ever take shortcuts in your 20s. That's the message that has stayed with me. And after many years of struggling, finally, we have a company which is right now the 3rd largest cosmetics brand in the country. And we're ambitious now. We want to be number 1. And I know that the journey from number 3 to number 1 is also very hard. A lot of you are, toppers whose name were mentioned in the email that I got. I know that, you're getting rank 3, getting rank 2, getting rank 1 is very hard. But you have, I believe that we have time by our side. We don't have the rush to build a very large business tomorrow. And whenever we look at our careers and our businesses in a magnitude of decades, we take decisions which make much more sense for the long term. So think of yourself as the CEO of your life and make decisions that are great for you for the next 20 years. And plan according to that. And, I'm sure you will do the right thing, because in your heart of hearts, you know what's the right thing. And that's not what your peers are doing. That's not what your professors are telling. That's not what neighbor wali auntie or, somebody's, telling mummy, papa to do. Because really, kuch to log kahenge, logo ka kaam hai kehna. For your voice, inner voice, your instinct, your heart will always give you the right answer. Drown out sab bahar ki noises and listen to your heart and follow it, and you'll find the right answers for yourself. Good luck. I look forward to seeing this class of PIBM going places. I look forward to reading about you in the news, seeing you on covers of magazine, and seeing you build great businesses. So best of luck. My best wishes are with each one of you.